Hey everybody, welcome back. It's Living in Lexington with Ben Murphy. I'm here at eXp Realty. We're in our studio today, and we're actually got a special guest today named Brian Brock. He's with Win Home Inspections. He's an inspector. So today we're going to talk about home inspections and kind of the big key questions that most of my clients always ask me. So Brian, first question right out of the gate, man. What got you into this? Because I mean, if you're not into real estate, you don't really realize inspecting is a job. And what got you into it, and how long have you been doing it?
Well, I've been home inspection now for about 3 years. My background is I'm an engineer,
Okay.
and I worked at Ford Motor, Amazon, and Toyota, so big companies. And I just got tired of the late night calls and all the things that come with that. I was over maintenance and facilities, that kind of stuff, and I just burnt out. And I've always wanted to do a home inspection ever since I was first married. I just never had the courage to do it, and I decided, I'm done. I'm going to do this. So good choice. I'm having a ball.
So you've been in this for 3 years now. How many homes have you actually inspected?
Probably close to 600.
Woo! That was a lot more than I was expecting. So how many do you do a week?
Well, it's kind of seasonal, just like real estate is. So I'm the busiest at midsummer. I'll do 40 inspections a month. So what is that, 10 a week?
At
So about
least.
2 a day. Times right now, I'm doing about one a day. So it just really depends on the season. And the way I look at it right now is March, April, May, June, July, and it peaks around September, and then it goes back down for me.
Yeah, so it kind of does flow with
Yeah,
the real estate market.
yeah.
When it dies down in winter, you're kind of,
But I'm still pretty steady.
yeah, you always seem like you're steady whenever I'm talking to you.
Yeah.
So the big question, Brian, that I always get when I'm working with clients about to buy a home, does my house need to get an inspection? What's your answer as a professional?
Well, I mean, obviously, I'm going to say home inspection is needed because I'm a home inspector. However, if I was going to buy a house, I'd want a home inspection. And just a case in point, earlier this week, I did an inspection on a home, a nice older home. Went down to the basement. Well, actually, I was outside in the backyard, and I could see that the yard was sloped towards the basement, towards the house. And I go, I wonder if there's a problem. So I go down to the basement, and there is a crack along the entire horizontal back wall. The back wall, horizontal crack about that big, about a quarter of an inch. And it looked like the wall was kind of sloping in a little bit. And I'm sure that was part of a contributor to that. My point is the when I showed the buyers that, they didn't even see it.
Mm.
And so that crack's significant enough that I told them that, hey, you need to call this guy. They're structural engineers. You need to get them to check that out because I think it's significant enough. It could be a problem. So to answer your question, I always, even new construction, I find a lot of issues.
Okay.
And it doesn't really matter the age or whatever, the size of the house. I always find issues that save the customer money because they can use that as a bargaining chip if their contract has that. So I've saved the customers a lot of money over time just by finding things, and then they can negotiate those things. Also recommend having inspection done for the sellers before they put it on the market, because what happens is if I find a lot of issues, then they could fix those issues, and then when they sell the house, the other home inspector that inspects the house won't find very many things, hopefully, and that makes the sale process a lot easier, a lot smoother in the end.
So I will brag about him real quick, ladies and gentlemen. I did use him when I first purchased my house, and he found a major issue with the roof, $10,000+ issue. But since he found it, we paid for the inspection, a couple $100, saved me thousands and thousands of dollars. So personal preference, if you're working with me, I am going to recommend it. I'm not going to say don't do it. Even with, like you said, new constructions, it's amazing what will get looked over, what will be missed. So
Yeah.
easy.
The nice thing about new construction is what I'll do is I'll create basically a punch list for the builder so he can fix those things since it's still under warranty. So even a new home should have inspection because it'll help you fix things prior to moving in.
So a quick question that most people ask me, how fast do you get reports back? And especially when you're in your busy season doing multiple a day, how quickly will you get the report back to your clients?
So I always tell my clients that if I do an inspection report is within 24 hours. So sometimes the same day, depending on my workload, but I usually tell them that they'll get it before they wake up in the morning. So I get up really early and knock out my reports.
That's fantastic.
So I don't get much sleep during those times, but that's okay.
But that's all right. But that's so another
Fantastic.
question that people always ask me, but I know it's kind of different depending on the inspector. What does it cost to inspect a home?
It depends.
Yeah, right.
All right, so it depends on the age and size of the house. So, in other words, if I inspected a $10,000 or 10,000 square foot house, it's going to be more expensive than a 1,500 square foot house just because of time. So my base price is $350 for a house that's 20 years old, 1,500 square feet, 2,000 square feet, $350. I did have a competitive analysis done in this market, and I'm right in the middle. I'm
Okay.
not the most expensive, and I'm not the cheapest, but sometimes you get what you pay for. So, with my background, I feel like it's very competitive, and you're paying for my expertise.
So, Brian, you kind of touched on it just briefly in that last question. So, my question for you is: are all inspectors created equal in this business?
Absolutely not. And the reason I say that is every inspector has a different background. You may have a teacher or a policeman or all kinds of fields of past lives. My background is I'm an engineer. I worked in manufacturing as a maintenance manager and facility manager for a long time. So this type of environment kind of suits me, kind of good transition for me. I like all the fancy tools, so I've got infrared cameras and radon testing and all those kind of things. So I feel kind of high techy, but no, they're not all created the same because you've got to have a background in this kind of activity because there are things you miss otherwise. So I'm dealing with mechanical systems, electrical systems, all those kind of things, and so I feel like my background really lends itself for home inspection.
Gotcha. And I kind of touch on this topic as a realtor in similar videos where I say not all realtors are created equal. They're not, because you'll have some part-time realtors who are also teachers or maybe policemen,
Yeah.
and they just have it as a side gig. I'll ask people, do you want to go have a surgery with a part-time doctor? Do you want a part-time lawyer to handle your case? It's a kind of amazing, especially with, I'm sure there's inspectors out there that this is a side hustle, this is a side gig, and maybe this isn't what they do all the time. So, I will.
Several of them.
Yeah, I'm sure you do, and that's why, again, I kind of push. When people ask me who should I work with, I push you, and I push a few other guys that I know this is their full-time job. This is what you do every single day, and it does. It's like you just said. You'll miss stuff. You won't catch certain things that could save thousands of dollars, or tell you need to walk away from this deal, and it's incredibly important for that. So, last but not least, Brian, if someone's watching this and they're trying to decide if they need to work with you or not, what would your message be to them?
What I offer as a home inspector is my knowledge and background that I've just told you about, but I also offer a lot of ancillary services. So I offer radon testing. I offer pool and spa inspections. I do air testing. So if your basement smells musty, then I have the equipment to test for that and send it to a lab. I can check for water samples to see if you have any microbials in it or any kind of lead, those kind of things, if that's a concern of yours. I also offer, which is very few people offer, is pay at close. So if you know somebody, or if you are tight on money on closing, I offer that service. It doesn't cost anything. So it's just a service that I offer. I also offer concierge programs free of charge as well. And that is, especially if you're out of state, you don't know who your cable company is and your internet company. This company will work with you and help you figure all that out. They'll do all the research, get back with you, save you a lot of time. So that's another free service I offer. So I offer a complete package. Most home inspectors do not. They specialize in maybe radon or termite, but I offer the entire package. So the nice thing is you call me, I'll handle it.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's it for today. Brian, thank you so much for coming. I truly appreciate it. I know for those who are researching, trying to figure out what they need to do to get ready to purchase a home, this is going to help them tremendously. Ladies and gentlemen, Brian Brock, his info is going to be in the description down below. If you are interested or need help getting a home inspected or have questions about inspections, this is the man. I'm telling you, he's the guy. You got to work with him. He saved me and my wife thousands of dollars on our first home purchase. And so it's 100% worth it. Ladies and gentlemen, if you haven't already, please click the like button. Help get these videos out there so people who are trying to research a little more about purchasing homes, this is going to help them out. If you're one of those that's trying to move to Lexington or the surrounding areas, you got to hit that subscribe button. It's going to help make sure you get all the videos that we've got coming out every single week. We're doing about 3 to 4, including market updates every single week. So ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching. This is Ben Murphy and Brian Brock. We're with Living in Lexington here on EXP. You guys have a good day.